Today is day 37. A couple of weeks ago, I was having a conversation with my wife, Shannon, about the different topics that we've covered during these 40 days of stewardship. And I knew I had kind of this partial week right here at the end of it. And I just kind of looked at her and I said, really not sure what to do with that last week. And man, she had a great idea just immediately. She said, how do you teach all the topics that you've talked about to your kids? And you know, that's kind of the way we need to be thinking about this. We don't want these just to be personal choices, but generational principles. And, you know, you would, okay, so let's go back through the 40 days. You've talked a lot. You've talked about budgeting. You've talked about saving. You've talked about giving. You've talked about working. Which part of that do I start talking about with my kids? All of it, right? So the Bible's telling us that we need to make our faith, especially this part of biblical stewardship, something that we have as ongoing conversations that we are having with our children. It ought to be something that we model before our children, and we ought to be looking for ways that they can participate with us in biblical stewardship. They can experience it themselves. Proverbs 22:6 says, train up a child in the way he should go, and even when he is old, he will not depart from it. That's kind of like that old proverb that says, as the twig is bent, so is the tree inclined. It basically means if you want them to be doing these things late in their life, you need to be teaching these things to them early in their life. And the earlier, the better to get started. So today, I want to answer a real quick question. Well, what is an effective way to get my children thinking about budgeting and saving and working and earning, all these different things that we've talked about? Here's the answer. Stop giving them an allowance. Right? So if kids are watching this, they just broke your phone. But man, stop giving them an allowance. You say, well, we don't give them an allowance. Well, then I would answer it like this. Stop buying them what they want when they want it. You know, one of the great joys that we have as parents is that we are providers and we are gift givers. You know, learning that your parents give good gifts to your children teaches them what the Bible tells about, and our Heavenly Father gives us all the good gifts that we experience in our life. So I'm not telling you that you shouldn't give your children anything, but I'm telling you, you shouldn't give them everything. There ought to be some things that they identify. Hey, I'd like to have that. What a great teaching time for you to look at them and go, you know what? I tell you what, let's start doing some work around the house, or maybe you find some things and you start rewarding them. Maybe they're 9, 10 years old. You're starting this real early. Hey, if you accomplish this, I'll give you this amount of money. And then you show them how to save. How long is it going to take them doing that job at that speed to save up for that amount of money? And, you know, here's the thing. Our children, they bought, my girls, they bought them their own bicycles. They bought some of the electronic things that they wanted. Back in the day, it was the iPod, right? So they saved up their money when they wanted something like that. And they bought it, some of the games, some of the clothes. You know, yeah, we bought them things and we provided them as parents, and it was joyous to be able to give them good gifts. But it was also important for us to teach them along the way, you got to earn and save and budget and spend your own money. And you know what? When the time came, we never had to look at either one of our girls and go, you know what? You probably need to go get a job. Man, they were looking for a job at the first opportunity because they saw the value in earning money. So think about this. If you don't get an allowance at 38, you probably shouldn't be giving them an allowance at 8. It's just not the real world. And the real world doesn't give you everything you want when you want it. You got to work, save, budget, you know, all those different things that we've been talking about along the way. So the action step for today is simply this. Stop the allowance. Stop just all the spending and buying of what they want when they want it, and teach them how to set up some things and to get that delayed gratification that comes from working, saving, budgeting, and then spending their own money. and you will be well on your way to teaching your children biblical stewardship.